Hello there! So when people try out my free sewing pattern software, they quite often turn to me with the same type of question. And it usually goes something like this: why is the bustard so large? I had never in my life seen a bustard that large. There must be something wrong. How can I fix this? So in this video I want to talk a bit about this, tell you how the bustard is calculated and how you could check your measurements for any mistakes in this area, and why a large bustard might actually be a good thing. So let me grab my little friend here. So she is on the smaller bust side, but she still has a bustard here. And I want to explain to you how this bustard is created. So you see, when you go from the shoulder down to the waist, in the back and in the front, you will find these measurements usually different. So when you go through over the bust, you need more fabric. This is a longer length than in the back. Yes, it could be that your back is actually longer than the front. Actually, my sewing pattern software cannot work with this right now. So it's basically assumed that the front length is longer than the back. And as you see here, the sides do line up. So when the front is longer than the back and the sides have to line up, you need to pinch out this extra fabric you have here in the front. And this is the bustard. So it's basically there to manipulate the front so it can meet the back piece here at the side. And it's basically a triangle which gets pinched out here, so we have an angle. And this angle is basically calculated from the difference between the back and the front length. So if the difference between front and back is larger, then you get a larger angle and therefore a larger bustard. If it's smaller, then the bustard is smaller. And a second thing is the bust width. This is this measurement right here, and the bust point distance. This is this measurement here, and this basically determines the position of the apex here. So we know where the bustard should point to. And if these measurements are quite large, then the bustard gets long. And we have an angle, so if a bustard gets long, even with a smaller angle, it would get large here at the side. So these are the measurements you might want to check. And the best thing to check this is sewing up one of the bodice pieces of one of my shirtwaist dress patterns. Because the waist should hit exactly in your natural waist, in the front and in the back. If this is the case, then your measurements are fine. If not, you might want to check again. But what if you checked this and the bodice piece looks fine, it hits the right spots, but you still think, why is the bustard so large? I'm pretty sure there's something wrong. Please keep watching. Let me put her to the side. So there is something you should know about ready-to-wear clothing and patterns. Indie patterns handle this often a bit different, but the large companies usually do the same. And it's that they draft their patterns for a B cup. So of course the bustard is smaller than if they would draft for a D cup. So actually it's my opinion that a lot of women buy the wrong size for their clothing just because they need extra room in the bust, and yeah, they would be happier if the pattern would actually be drafted for a larger bust cup and be smaller in the rest. So that's one thing to consider. And the second thing is, I have talked about the bust width. And you see, most pattern pieces or ready-to-wear clothing is evened out. Front and back are the same width. This is partially done by putting a larger amount of the arm width into the back than in the front. This evens out this a little bit, but this only works for a B cup again. So if you really take your own measurements, and I'm not drafting for a specific cup size, I don't work with cup sizes at all. It's just the measurements that you give me or my software. And then it is quite possible, when you have a larger bust, that your front piece is wider than your back piece, because you need more fabric to go over the front here horizontally than in the back. So it absolutely makes sense to have the pattern piece be larger too, right? You don't need the fabric in the side or in the back, you need it in the front. And this makes the bustard longer and therefore wider at the side. So actually, when I explain this to people and tell them how this works, and they do try it out, until this point everyone has come back to me saying, I'm so glad I tried it, this is the best fitting pattern piece I have ever tried. So it might actually be a very good thing that the bustard created by my software is larger than you are used to. I would recommend you just give it a try. Use an inexpensive fabric if you're really that careful about this. So, and one little tip before I end this video. When you have a large bustard to sew, it can actually be quite tricky to get the point of the dart not getting pointy. So this might look weird. And if you're not into this pointy Madonna look from the, when was it, 80s? I don't know. Then I would recommend that you try out alternative bustard placement. So for example, what I'm wearing right now, let me show you, is a princess line bust, princess line bodice. And you have here the bustard, which is rotated up into the arm's high and then smoothed out into a curve down here. You have a dividing seam and it follows my curves very naturally. You don't even have a point, you have just two curves which comes together and create the shape, the room for your bust. Or alternatively, you can check out sewing patterns where the bustard fullness is moved into gathers in the shoulders or the neckline or into pleats. And the bustard is basically still there doing its thing, but you don't have this harsh line and this pointy little tip. So I hope this was of some help for you. Thanks for joining me today. And I hope I will see you soon in my next video. Bye bye!